Okay, so the first thing that I did is I took a Makeup Forever Artist pencil in a bone color just to kind of map out where I didn't really need foundation on my face, and then I put a foundation that a little bit darker than I normally would have put all around. And I kid you not, when I started this video, I don't know how I got it to end up being like a Halloween look, because I started out just wanting to use the Lion King palette. I was going to do an eye look and have like a simple little scar on my eyelid and call it a day. How I got to this point, I have no idea. And then I put a darker color foundation, which was a lot more warmer because I wanted to add warmth to my face. I just put it like around the perimeter and just kind of warm it up a little bit and also darken it up a little bit. And I'm just going to take a Tarte concealer, the color that I always use, and I'm just going to apply that under my eyes because I really want to conceal and also brighten that area up. And then I'm just going to blend that out with a Sigma sponge and set that as well. And I will, as always, try to list everything that I used in the description box below, so don't forget to check that out. And all in all, this look was super fun to do. I know I was inspired by the new collection from the Lion King, but the collection has nothing to do with Scar, so I don't know why I picked this one. And I'm going to use the new Lion King collection from Luminous in collaboration with Sir John, and this is the Sculpting palette. Again, everything will be listed in the description box below. So I'm going to kind of go really heavy with the color, the one I pointed to. I'm going really heavy with that, and then I'm taking a little bit of the darker shade too, just to darken it up. And I really want to make it really almost like an orangey, warmish brown color. I really want to darken up, especially the perimeter of my face. Then I took MAC Black Chroma Cake. I don't even know if they sell these anymore, but I kind of just started mapping out the like large widow's peak that he has. I already have a widow's peak on my hair, so I just basically extended it because my forehead's pretty big. So I just basically mapped that out and filled it in. I should have, after like looking back at this, I should have did it a lot darker. I went back in with eyeshadow after I did the MAC Chroma Cake. I'm kind of just mapping it out here, and I went back in with the shadow just to darken it up, but I should have went back in with either some type of face paint or either an eyeliner just to darken it up. And then I decided I didn't want it to be such a harsh, like cartoonish sharp line, so I wanted to go with like a blended out version of everything. So I just started blending it out with the what is it called? The sculpting palette that I used previously. And then I went back in with the pencil just to kind of, again, map out the scar where I wanted it, just so I didn't cover up that part of my brow when I was doing my brows. So my brows, I'm going to come back to the scar and kind of fix it up a little bit after. His brows are pretty much basic. They go really small in the front, and then they're just really dark, and then they go high, they have like a high up arc and then kind of like pointed on the bottom. So it's just, I don't know, I just did them pretty basic. And then I went back to, I'm going to go back to the scar later, a little bit after I do my eyes. So starting my eyes, I just applied a primer so I don't get any creasing. It's Urban Decay's, and then I used the, again, Lion King palette. This is the eyeshadow palette. I only used basically the lighter shades and the darker shade of brown, so I added the lighter, like transition-y color, and I just blended that out into my crease, and then I added the darker color next to it just to kind of give it a little bit more darkness into my crease. Overall, I should have spent a little bit more time on the eyes. I just did them really fast. Again, I wasn't planning on doing this whole face look like this, but his eyes were pretty simple. They're just kind of like a really dark smoky eye, and I applied black on my eyelid, and then I kind of added a little bit of purple, which you can't really see, a little bit of purple over that, but it's basically just a black smoky eye, basically. His top little like smoky eye area was a little bit lighter than his actual lid. His lid was pretty much full black. And then I kind of just ran that down my nose a little bit, kind of like in a cat eye shape, but I went a little bit further down. And then I smoked out my lower lash line as well with the same colors and black in my waterline. And then I also added, what did I add? I added a Kat Von D eyeliner, and kind of just to give it that kind of cartoon cut crease, I just added like a little line a little bit above the crease. And this is the picture I was going off of. If you look really closely, his is kind of like it has a sharp line towards the top. Again, I really didn't spend too much time on the eyes. I really didn't think it was that important overall. all, I guess. I don't know, I should have, but, and then I added some big fluffy lashes because obviously this is like a glam scar. Okay, going back to work on that scar, I just used a concealer to brighten it up. I didn't want to white because that's not going to look right. So I just went in with my usual concealer, and I didn't cover up my brows. I kind of just put a lot of concealer over them. I don't have a lot of brow hair to begin with, so it kind of covered them good enough. So I just went ahead and did that, and then around the edges of the scar, I used a little bit of a brown shadow just to kind of give it a little like messiness, I guess. I didn't want it like a full fake scar. I don't know. I just I just shaded the edges a little bit. And for the nose, I just used an angled brush with some MAC Chroma Cake in the beginning. He kind of had, it almost looked like a heart, but like a pointy heart. Kind of went really pointy at the top, and then on the bottom it kind of like went down and just kind of faded. So I just did it with the Chroma Cake, and then I used a Dose of Colors Shady Eyeliner, gel eyeliner, to darken it up after I got the kind of shape that I wanted. Exactly what I should have did to the little forehead part. I should have darkened it up a lot more. It was a little bit darker in person, but yeah, it wasn't dark enough. And then after, I kind of just blended a little bit of black shadow, black and brown actually. Black, oh no, I think I just used black. A little bit of black and brown shadow just to run up because it did have it kind of like blended out right there in the top area. And then I used a concealer just to kind of map out where I wanted that white part because the rest of the face was going to be black. So I didn't want to put any unnecessary black right there. Then I went in with a Kat Von D concealer, and I just basically filled in my whole bottom part everywhere where I kind of mapped that area out. I just filled it in with concealer. I wasn't trying to put a lot. I just put a little bit because I didn't want it too bright, but I just wanted it a little bit brighter than my skin tone, and I kind of just filled that in. And also my lower lip too, because the top lip is kind of just black and the bottom, he really didn't have a bottom lip. And then I'm kind of shading it in with a little bit of that bronzer that I used in the beginning. And at this point, I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to make it look better. And then my camera actually died when I was doing this part, so I went ahead and did one side of my face so I can try to figure out what I was doing while my camera battery charged. So I went back in with the black Chroma Cake and a stippling brush, and I just added it all the way to my neck and down my neck and up a part where I didn't put foundation in. So right under my cheekbone, basically, where I didn't put foundation, and I actually was in a hurry and went too high on this area, of course. I was just trying to do it fast before my camera died again. So I just basically stippled black Chroma Cake on top and then just blended it out. And then I also, what did I do after this? Oh, I just darkened it up, and then I went back in with a little bit more of the bronzing palette and just kind of blended those two areas, like the blush part, the bronzer part area, and that black part, just to make it like blend a little bit more nicely.